Hello friends, welcome to my channel, and in this video tutorial we are going to talk about human heart. So human heart is an organ present in our body. It is situated in between lungs in a thoracic cavity. So as we all know, human heart is four chambered. Two atrium and two ventricles participate to form four chambered human heart. So the main function of human heart is to pump blood throughout the body parts. So let's talk about the structure of the human heart. So human heart appears somewhat like this. These two are known as atrium and these two are known as ventricles. So like all the body organs, human heart is also protected by outer covering that protect it from outer shocks and mechanical injuries. This outermost covering is known as parietal layer. This is parietal layer, and inner one is known as visceral layer. And here is the space in between these two layers which contains pericardial fluid. This fluid protects the heart from outer mechanical shocks and injuries. Let's talk further about the heart. So here this downward portion is known as the apex, and this upper portion is known as the base of the heart. So here we have, this is the left auricle or atrium, this is the right auricle or atrium, this is the left ventricle, and here is the right ventricle. So now here this is the pipe like structure, a tube like structure towards the downward, and one tube like structure towards the upward. These are the Vena Cavas. So this downward tube is known as your inferior vena cava. It collects deoxygenated blood from all the lower body parts, and this is the superior vena cava which collects deoxygenated blood from all the upper parts of our body. So here is the opening of our superior vena cava, and here is the opening of our inferior vena cava. Means these vena cavas collect deoxygenated blood into our right atrium or right auricle. So your right auricle contains whole of the deoxygenated blood. Now here are the arterioventricular openings which separates atrium from ventricle. So the opening which separates your right atrium from the right ventricle is known as your tricuspid valve, and the opening which separates your left atrium from the left ventricle is known as your bicuspid valves, and these structures are known as semi-lunar valves. These valves prevent backward flow of blood from ventricles to the atrium. So here basically what happens over there, when these vena cavas collect deoxygenated blood from the different body parts, the whole blood is going to be collected into this right auricle. Now we know our heart continuously beats. So when your right atrium will contract, the whole deoxygenated blood will move down into your right ventricle. Now right ventricle contains these thread-like structures, and these thread-like structures are known as chordae, tendineae. So these chordae tendineae, what these do, they prevents the collapse of ventricles during the contraction of ventricles. Now it has received whole deoxygenated blood from the right auricle. Now it is the time of your right ventricle to contract. When your right ventricle will contract, the whole deoxygenated blood will move out through your pulmonary trunk. This is your pulmonary trunk. Pulmonary trunk further gives rise to two pulmonary arteries. It forms two pulmonary arteries. Now these pulmonary arteries will carry deoxygenated blood towards the lungs. This left pulmonary artery will carry deoxygenated blood towards the left lung, and this right pulmonary artery will carry deoxygenated blood to the right pulmonary lung, to the right lung. Now these lungs will oxygenate this deoxygenated blood. Now this deoxygenated blood will move back into the heart through the pulmonary veins. Now these are the pulmonary veins which will receive oxygenated blood from the left lungs, and here are the right pulmonary veins which will receive oxygenated blood from the right lung. Now here is the opening of our pulmonary veins into the left auricle. Now this left auricle is containing a whole of the oxygenated blood. When left auricle will contract, the whole oxygenated blood will move down into our left ventricle, and this, when your left ventricle will contract, the whole blood will move out through the major artery that is known as your aorta. So this aorta will carry oxygenated blood to the different parts of the body, and this aorta will further split up into the small arteries, and arteries into the arterioles, and will distribute the oxygenated blood to the rest of the body parts. And thank you. If you like my lecture, please subscribe my channel.